This is First Contact, Stories of the Call Center.
One thing around people, right, is whenever you make those hard decisions, you make those cuts, you have any advice on how do you keep the morale and those who stay after cuts like that still in and doing the work and being able to really look at it as something that was needed versus, oh my gosh, the business is going down the drain?
I'll call this a very Canadian thing because it's codified in Canada, but it's institutionalized at Answernet, and that is treat people with respect. When you need to let somebody go, treat them with respect. Don't use that as an opportunity to crush them or crush their soul. So I'll give you a couple of really sort of interesting examples. When we've had to close centers, you have to listen to people. You have to, you're letting them go, and you have to give them a chance to, have their say. And that's an important thing. Now, I've told my leadership that if firing somebody is ever easy, even if they're a horror show, please quit. Because when you terminate somebody, you're telling them that they're not what you want. And to them, what they're hearing is, you're not good enough. You don't have the talent, or you don't have the skill. And when you do have to lay off, and we've had to close centers and we've had to do things like that, it's really about making sure that, people are treated as well as possible. We've had a number of situations over the years where people get fired for all kinds of reasons. Sometimes the best move is to say nothing, just to say, it's time to move on. Because what are you going to do? What are you going to prove that, you have a job and they don't? You're going to prove that you're smarter or better? It's about having respect for human beings and understanding that many people attach their self-worth and their own identity to the work they do. And, as somebody who, I got fired from Burger King. Okay. Early on in my career, I got fired from Burger King, and I went to work for Burger King because the Whopper was my favorite sandwich on the planet at the time. And I'm thinking, I want to work at Burger King. And, I was not the right fit. I was not the right culture. My coworkers would goof on me because I was more of a brainiac than I was a guy to sweep the floor at Burger King. I wasn't against sweeping the floor, but the guy who wanted to prove that I was beneath him, handed me the scrub brush and said, sweep the floor. The owner of the franchise walked up to me and goes, what are you sweeping with? I go, this is what I was handed. And he realized that I didn't fit at Burger King. So people get fired from jobs for all different kinds of reasons. Sometimes sometimes it's just not a cultural fit. Sometimes they can't do the job that somebody has in mind. Sometimes it's bad leadership, right? I can tell you that I can think of a number of people that have left my company because the manager that they were reporting to, and in more than one case, it was probably me, didn't give them what they needed to be successful. And that's what happens sometimes.
Well, it's great advice, and to really look at it as a leader, taking the ownership of where you could have done better or what leadership in general could have done differently, but also realize that you have to make those tough decisions. And when you do, treat people with respect. And that's great advice.